Hey guys, good morning. So it's Saturday, August 25th, and pretty early here where I'm at, but sunrise is coming up, and I want to touch base with you guys real quick before I head out. Um, a few things to talk about today. Um, Thought I'd give some observations on some things I saw that kind of go to what I speak to, and maybe more observation than just a recap of last night. Um, First of all, today's a little bit of a harder day for me because today's my daughter's birthday. We spoke last night. I'll be speaking to her today. I know she had a sleepover, um, but kind of hard not to be there with her when she wakes up to wish her happy birthday. So I'm trying to wrap my hands around that. But anyway, Kira, I love you so much, baby girl. Happy birthday, okay? You're the best. You really are. You came into my world. I didn't have any children. I always dreamed of being a dad, and I'll tell you what, I dreamed of being a dad and having a child I could never have imagined. Um, Having one as special as you and being as lucky as I am. So, thank you for letting me be your dad, kiddo. You're the best, truly are. So, I'm sorry I'm not there with you today, but I know you know why. So, um, I'll make it up to you, I promise, okay? So, happy birthday, baby girl. And I'm not crying. Don't yell at me. You always yell at me to cry too much. I haven't cried in a long time. You got to give me credit for that. So I'm doing good. Um, I didn't even cry when I talked about Uncle Kieran the other day. So you got to give me some credit, kiddo. All right. Today, I got to run over to Walmart. There's a Walmart nearby. Get my fourth or fifth tripod of the journey. Just keep losing this one part up top. Um, I got all the bases. I just keep losing the part. Orion came out and got me a tripod stand. Still lost the damn top part of it. Anyway, congratulations to Ontario High School football, who won yesterday. Congratulations to Crestview High School football, who won yesterday. And Triton High School in Bourbon, Indiana. You got blanked, but that's okay, guys. You're 1-1. It's just time to look in the mirror a little bit, toughen up, see what you did wrong this week, if anything. Take your hat off to the other team for what they did well, and just come out firing next week. Let's get back on the winning track, all right? Because I know you guys can do it. I met you guys at breakfast. Amazing team, amazing coaches, and I got your back on this one. So, but thank you to all the fans who are sharing the scores with me. It means a lot to me. It makes my Friday nights really cool. Um, so yesterday, after I left you guys, the day before, I met a gentleman, Kelly, and Kelly told me about a church he wanted me to go see. There's a pastor that he finds very inspiring and very moving, and thought that my journey of looking for goodness in people would coincide a little bit with what he's doing. Thought I would get something out of it, and maybe thought the pastor would like to meet me. So I'm not going to be here Sunday for the normal Sunday service. So he found out about a Friday service. So he, my haircut yesterday. I apologize. I'm having a little bit of a bad day here. So we went Friday night, and it was a little bit different for me, and I'm trying to give some observations to some things, that I'm trying to be as fair as I can be without being disrespectful. Um, but I hadn't been to church in a long time. One of my biggest eye openers to this journey has been the fact that I need to get my children to, I wanted them to kind of seek it on their own. I thought that I was kind of force fed religion at a very young age, and as a result, I kind of pushed it away. So I know that I need to expose my kids to it and let them make their decisions after that. And one of the cool things is about this journey is I've been able to go to different churches of different denominations, and some of these churches have been something non-denominational, and kind of this new age, at least as I was raised, music and inspiring and things like that. I went to this church that was an inner city church yesterday, and there were some observations that I think are so amazing, and there are some observations that, make me question, and I'm just being honest. I'm not trying to be cynical or jaded. I'm just trying to be real. So, and I'll talk about a couple other things after that I think I'm trying to be real, but I'm sure I'll piss somebody off. But anyway, this church yesterday, let's talk about some of the beautiful things about it. So, this church is in the inner city, and it truly does open itself to people of all walks. I mean, it advertises on its marquee. And it's looking for its addicts and its felons and its non-sinners. That's kind of their mantra. And there are people of all sorts. And you can see how faith has brought these people together. And I admire that entirely. And I admire, as I said, people were telling me not to go to Chicago, but I felt I'd be a hypocrite if I walked by these people in Chicago out of fear, because then I'd be doing what everybody else does. Hey, let that be the kind of, let that be the uncontrolled section of town that we all just ignore, and let them take care of each other. And, this church certainly not only doesn't ignore, but actually reaches out to these people and gives them hope. And Pastor John, a very powerful speaker himself, is a reformed heroin addict and felon, and very powerful in what he speaks and how he speaks, and there's beauty in that. And the other thing that I was surprised about was, I guess I in my mind going there before the service started, just watching some of the people, and there was a couple of really bizarre occurrences for both Kelly and I, but that'll be in the book. That won't be on here. I'm not trying to tear anybody up, but freaky for sure. Because sometimes, this is just me speaking, I think sometimes people go way over the top. And yesterday I got to experience a couple of folks way over the top, personally. Hands on, oil on me. Anyway, but the other thing I noticed about this particular church is I thought I was going to see a bunch of wretched old souls and people down on their luck and wayward, and then there were some of those people, and hell, I might be in that category. I'll just try to be a clean-shaven, wretched old soul. But what I was so impressed with and what I thought was so amazing was the young people, these young people that were so afraid of not being judged and to give of themselves. When I mean give of themselves, there's a whole peace that I think religion brings to people. And to see in a young age, when I was self-conscious and look around at who's seeing me jump and dance and wave my hands, see these young people that weren't wretched old souls at all, but the movement and inspiration they had through the preachings. So that was some of the real positive stuff that I saw. Some of the stuff that had me kind of questioning this particular mass was sometimes, as I've gone through some of these New Age ones, there's been a nice mix of kind of music and song. And this one here, I was at for 50 minutes. I think I looked at my phone clock to see. And the pastor had spoken for all of 5 minutes. At that point, it was 45 minutes of elongated music and performance. And, it's bothering me during this journey, and to stand for 45 minutes is a little bit tough. And, no disrespect to the young people that were on stage and performing and singing, but it almost got to the point like I felt like I was at my kids' high school musical. And then there were these folks that had brought in a bag of these flags, and they're dancing around. And again, if that's how they celebrate in their spirit, that's their thing, and I'm not criticizing it. It just seemed weird. It almost took on like I was at a Jimmy Buffett concert or something for me. And then the lights are down and the stage is on, and these people are waving these flags, and I saw them every song. They'd come over and change their flags, and I'm wondering what meaning or significance, because nobody could see the color of it. Nobody could see the pattern of it. Just, I don't know. So, very odd to me, some of it. But there was some really highs, and I wish I could have listened to Pastor John speak all evening, but unfortunately I didn't get that opportunity. And so it's kind of again, I'm more trying to be observational about humanity as I'm out here and deal with my religion in my own way, and my spirituality in my own way. And that's kind of what I saw last night. So I'll leave that, go from there. Because this ran so late, I was going to go spend the night with Greg. Greg, I met earlier in the day, had offered me a place. But I had family texting me and making sure, hey, where you at? And I hadn't talked to Greg, even though he extended an offer, because I was in church. So without having them hear something from me, one of my family members went and, again, got me a room. so I could just get out of there and go right to sleep, because they know when I usually go to someone's home, learning about them and spending 2-3 hours speaking with them, and I was pretty wiped yesterday. I really was. So anyway, so that was most of the night, and then a couple of observations of things that I just try to consider myself real. And again, I'm sure I'm going to piss somebody off about my comments about the church, because somebody will see it differently, and that's your thing. I got no problem with it. Another thing I saw a newspaper article. This was the most bizarre thing to me. I'm kind of looking at it now. So apparently there's a study being done by, I don't know if it's a university, Huntsville, Alabama, genetics researcher. I'm sorry, researchers at Northeastern University in Boston. Okay, now Northeastern University, a pretty prestigious university in our country, is now doing a study. Do you know what the study is? I'm walking across the country trying to find out how people can be good to each other and make a change. And you know what the study is? Study looks into self-triggered goosebumps, because some people found out that by touching their own arm, they can give themselves goosebumps while others can't. And for some reason, somewhere along the line, they want to know why Lucas Eagleton can give himself goosebumps. And that's worthy of money and time and a federal grant, I assume. And I don't know that to be fact, but I'm just wondering about our society these days. We talk about all the negative stuff, and that's clearly contributing to not positive stuff, I guess. I mean, we could talk about the sycophants on TV and the teen mom television boom and stuff like that. But here we have universities studying self-triggered goosebumps. Are you kidding me? Really? Self-triggered goosebumps, that's worthy of federal money and a study? I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe, again, I'm just missing the boat and someone needs to educate me. But as a everyday common guy, I look at that and scratch my head and say, really? I mean, who really cares? I don't know what benefit could come from. Mary can give herself a goosebump. My kids can, but I can't. I don't know. My son can do some crazy thing with his tongue. I can't do that. So maybe we should study that. I don't know. I'm just here to question stuff today. I'm a little bit goofy, or maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm being jaded today. I'm sorry, guys. And the last one comes to, again, the world of hypocrisy. So this is just, again, me calling out people for my biggest pet peeve, if you know me, is hypocrisy and people using information in an agenda for their agenda. So one of the things that people always use for an agenda is politics. And those of you who have heard the name Molly Tibbetts lately, Molly Tibbetts is a young lady who lived in Iowa that was killed recently while jogging through her town. Very tragic. And it turns out she was killed by a young man who happens to be in the country illegally. So, as we know, one of our president's platforms was to fight, the illegals and put up a wall and things along that nature. And I don't have any problem with people that want to support that. I don't. He's our president, and that's the reality. But what I saw yesterday, I was watching TV, and I was watching that very same president while he was talking about all the good that's happened under his administration, which I again, talk well about yourself. There had to be this almost snide, snarky, attack on the opposition party while he was doing that. It was almost like I cooked breakfast for my kids, or I had cooked breakfast along with my kids, or baked a cake and said, well, isn't my cake great? And doesn't yours suck? I mean, the fact that you're putting them down doesn't take away from the fact that mine's wonderful. And so on that note, what came out last night in the news is that this illegal immigrant happened to live and work for a very big contributor and key member of the Republican National Committee's fundraising program, and contributed to the Republican National Committee. And that's where I have this issue where, I'm sure the Democrats will call it out and point the finger, right? Because they got an opportunity, they can feed their agenda. But the Republicans who love to point the finger at Democrats, I wonder how much they're going to point the thumb, or how much that's going to be highlighted now. Because when it happens, it's real easy for people to say, see, that's why we got to do what we got to do. Anyway, I'm running out of time. Kira, Grace, Landon, I love you guys. Happy birthday, Kira. Again, it's just what it is. and I love you guys. Bye.